Lesson 1. All right. Green Beetz begins with a very broad opening welcome lesson called Welcome to Green Beetz. It starts with an introduction of what is Green Beetz, where you go over the 4 modules. Those are food in the environment, food in the body, the big business of food, cooking basics, and the culture of food. You kind of give your students a broad overview of what is Green Beetz and what is this whole curriculum going to be about. That they're looking into food and investigating how food affects them and how they can make choices that can affect their world around them through food. And then before you go any further in talking about Green Beetz, we ask that you give a pre-survey so we can kind of gauge where your students are from day 1, and then they'll see that exact same survey, post-survey, when Green Beetz is all wrapped up and at the end. It's important to stress to your students that this is not a test. There are not right and wrong answers. You just need them to work individually, put their name on it so we can track them. It's really just to see if anything changed from day 1 to the last day. And then we move into the video, which is Captain Trash Bag for this first lesson. And it is just a fun, exciting video to get students really geared up and ready for this curriculum and to let them know kind of the structure of Green Beetz, that day 1 of every lesson there is going to be a video. Not all of them will be quite as goofy and funny. There'll be a lot more focused on the teaching points, but this again is just your welcome lesson. And then you go into a class discussion, which just really talks all about, gets your students investigating why it is they eat, and they can come up with an array of answers. We really just want to get the discussion going on and get them thinking about how food plays a role in their lives, which they're all very aware of, and they just maybe have never really sat and thought about and gotten tuned to. And that wraps up really day 1. So day 2 of Welcome to Green Beetz has students creating a breakfast challenge. So we want them to do a food log, just for the first week of Green Beetz, and then again for the last week of Green Beetz. Unless your students love a food log, and then again you could have them do a food log for the entire curriculum of Green Beetz. So there's portions of Green Beetz, as you'll find, that are very flexible. We want to give you the tools to use this curriculum how it best suits your students in your classroom. For the food log, which is our breakfast challenge, we really ask your students for that first week to record what they're eating, and then to kind of see if their attitudes or moods or stomach or anything, just record any observations they had after they had their breakfast. And even if it's something where they didn't eat breakfast, we want them to record that too. So this is just, again, a tool to get conversation going all around food and have them kind of make the linkage back to how food is affecting how they're feeling. So that is our breakfast challenge. And then you go in and you have your snacks and facts on the day 2, which is one of the only days that you might have enough time to actually prepare with the students the snack of the day. As you get further into the curriculum and the information gets a little more robust, you'll find that time comes to be a little more shorter for preparing the snack during the lesson, which is why it would be a really good idea, if you have the time, to prepare your snacks before you have the lessons of Green Beetz with your students. So then we have Test Your Noodle. Test Your Noodle is the trivia where your students are going to get about 4 to 5 questions that they can answer, and with the yes or no answers is when they accumulate these points that lead them to be getting those Green Beetz bucks that they can use at their Firewell lesson. So then the food detective for this day is for them in the next morning to record their breakfast challenge, to record their food log. And that's it.